What's going on, Mountaineer Nation? Welcome into the Country Roads webcast here for another roster update, this time July 25th edition, and we have some adjustments to make here on our roster tracker on the Country Roads webcast just ahead of the start of fall camp, less than a week away now. No further ado, let's dive into it as we pull up the roster tracker here on the CRW and make these adjustments that we need heading into fall camp. All right, of course, if you follow along the Country Roads webcast here, you're familiar with our roster updates and our running roster tracker here, where I track only the scholarship players on the roster. These will be more updates coming, of course, once we get into fall camp and realize exactly what receiver positions some of these guys are playing, exactly what positions within the secondary, and we will update accordingly. So be on the lookout for more roster updates coming once we get into fall camp. Like I said, less than a week away now, but let's scroll through here and as you see, some of the freshmen, of course, added the transfers. We've done a previous roster update to talk about that. But one of the first ones here, I actually updated this already in a previous live stream, but wanted to go over it here as well. That's why Victor Wickstrom's picture was included in the thumbnail of this video. He is one of the WVU football players that unfortunately has been forced to retire from the game due to injuries, and that's why he's no longer listed on the roster here. You see him absent there at the tight end position. And then the next change we want to make here, we're going to come down to the offensive line, where actually Mo Hamilton, Big Mo as I like to call him, has moved off of the offensive line, and he is going to be playing on the defensive side, which I think is a good move for him to maybe get on the field even a little bit quicker. We know Corey McIntyre Jr. suffered an injury. He's going to be out for this season. He was a player that they were really hoping to contribute along that defensive line. So they moved Mo Hamilton over to the defensive side. This was noted in the media guide that the university released here just a few short weeks ago. And Mo Hamilton is going to be playing the defensive side. They're probably getting some reps at nose tackle, maybe a little defensive tackle as well. That's why Virginia builds that depth on that defensive line. I think it's a great move for him. 335 pounds. So he'll be one of the biggest defensive linemen that West Virginia has as far as size is concerned, and maybe a quicker path to playing time that he has here than he had on the offensive line, because he can get on the field here as a relief player some, doing some spot duty if nothing else. So it could be a good way for him to get onto the field a little bit quicker. So the redshirt sophomore Mo Hamilton moving to the defensive side of the football is one adjustment we wanted to make here, seeing him play along the defensive line. And then the other one here, I also kind of noted this in a previous live stream, was that believed to be coming in as receiver, Keyshawn Robinson, actually coming in as a defensive back. I put him here at free safety originally, but if you look at the West Virginia football roster, the official roster, they actually have him listed at cornerback currently. So we're going to go ahead and slide him in there instead, put him in here with the cornerbacks. And like I said, a lot of these guys, their position may change, whether they're playing cornerback, safety. They could shift these guys around once we get into fall camp, and some things could change there as far as that's concerned. Which then leads me, of course, right into my last change that I want to make here, just to go according with the media guide, and that's just a little bit of a switcheroo here at the safety positions. Jacob Boyce actually going to be playing the cat safety currently, according to the media guide, so we will list him here at this position. And then Anthony Wilson will be playing the free safety position right now as well. In the media guide, Kakora Tarnu and Josiah Jackson listed as co-starters at cat safety, while Anthony Wilson is listed as the first team starter here at free safety, currently with Jaheim Joseph, the Northwestern transfer, as a backup. We'll see how these positions shake out. Once we get into fall camp, it's a nice position battle going to be going on there, probably at both free and cat safety, to see who ends up getting the start there, with Aubrey Burks now playing the spear position. So wanted to make that change as well here to kind of close up. You see no changes from the specialists, and I'll kind of scroll slowly back through this so you can get a look at all these positions if you'd like. Maybe you want to pause the video, focus on one specifically, but these are the scholarship players where they're currently slotted here heading into fall camp. Like I said, don't include walk-ons in this roster just for brevity's sake and making these videos not too lengthy, and of course making the updates not too hard on myself either. But I do want to add that we will have some more updates once we get into fall camp, of course. We'll see what happens. And I may even do a position battle preview series. I'm thinking about doing that here on the channel as well, where we highlight some of these position battles. I mentioned the one going on there at safety, but we also have them at right tackle. And of course, wide receiver is going to be wide open. You got probably 5 or 6 guys that could be potential starters there at the wide receiver position. So definitely wanted to get into a little bit of that as well. So that'll be something that we do also maybe here on the channel. So be on the lookout for a potential position battle preview series here just ahead of the start of fall camp to kind of wet our whistle before we dive into there. And the content coming out is going to be hot and heavy here from the Country Roads webcast, of course. So stay tuned here if you don't already. But here we are for our July 25th roster update. So there you have it. And just want to close out by saying, as we get closer to fall camp, there's no better time to become a member of the Country Roads webcast channel. You can do that by hitting the join button down found in the video description. get all kinds of bonus content that way. I've got game rewatch commentaries already, over 12 hours of those up on the channel for members only. And then, of course, also once we get into the season, there's going to be a lot of fun stuff going on there. Members only live streams, film reviews, snap counts, depth chart updates, all that good stuff as well will be beneficial for you. If you're a channel member, you'll get that extra bonus WVU football content. So if you're someone like me that just can't get enough West Virginia football content, I'd recommend becoming a member here of the Country Roads webcast. If you can do so, would really appreciate that. But if you can't do that, you can always support me fast, easy, and free just by hitting the thumbs up button. Giving the video a like helps a ton with the YouTube algorithm. And of course, just subscribe to the channel. That's free to do as well. And you get all this content directly to your feed, and you'll know when these videos get put out. So great thing to do if you're a big time fan of WVU football. And lastly, throw your thoughts in the comments on the roster as it stands currently for West Virginia, or anything else you got there. Always appreciate those interactions as we continue to try and grow the CRW community. Having said that, as always, I'm Jordan Cruz, and until next time, let's go Mountaineers.